Hi everyone, this is Ron Torres bringing you a special video on our Microsoft project assignment for week 7 of BUSS420 Project Management. And here is that activity. It's due on day 7, which is Saturday by midnight Eastern Time, and you're going to post up not one, but 2 separate Microsoft project files to the Dropbox and Angel. And there in Chapter 13, you'll see we're doing 4 separate exercises. But the first 3 will be a single Microsoft project file, and then 13.4 will be its own separate Microsoft project file. Now, I'm not supplying any templates this time, because these don't really require it. There's only some minor modification from the default Microsoft project file that's created when you start with a blank. So let's take a look at the rest of these exercises. So 13.1 starts out fairly easily. You're going to add the task, the duration, the predecessors, and the resource names right into a blank Microsoft project schedule. And you'll see you're creating that Gantt chart there as you go through and enter that information. Now, you may not be able to read it here on the screen, but it's right there in section 13.1 of our textbook. Now, you'll have to add a new column, the percentage complete column. And if you go to the end of the table in the Gantt view, you will see an add new column, and you'll select that and it'll create a pull down. And the very first entry in that pull down is percentage complete, and that's number 1 there. Then you'll be able to see that column and fill in the numbers from our textbook for each of the resources. So 13.1 concludes by asking you what happened to your Gantt display as you entered those percentage completes. Here I have the big question mark up in front of the Gantt before you enter those percentage completes, so it'll change as a result of putting in that information. Now let's move on to 13.2, assigning costs or assigning rates. And the first thing you're going to have to do is go to the View tab and select the resource sheet so that we can apply, and you see there in number 2, the standard rates just as they're documented there in your textbook. So for each of the resources on the resource sheet, enter that standard rate. All right, the next thing you'll have to do is take a look at the resource usage and the overall expenses of the projects or the costs. So we'll start with number 1 there, going back to the View tab, select resource usage. And now you'll see that resource usage table, but it won't have 3 columns, and you'll need to add those. You'll need to add the cost, the actual cost, and the remaining cost columns. So you can see we can get this intermediate cost data or budgetary data from Microsoft Project. Pretty cool, huh? Now 13.3 is asking you to create a project summary report. We'll take a look at how to do that. So if you go to the Project tab of Microsoft Project and select Reports, that'll bring up a dialog, and you have all of these different reports you can choose from. Let's select number 2 there, which is Overview. And then it'll bring up another dialog, and you can get all of those different summary or overview reports. And there's the project summary report right there. Just select that, and you'll get the project summary report that you can print out. Now, take a look around there, because we've done a lot of work to enter in all that raw data, right? And now here are all the different reports or information that we can draw after having done all that work. Now 13.4 is rather straightforward. The first thing you're going to do is enter all the information from 13.4 from the textbook right there into a new Microsoft project file. Now you'll have to insert a column like we did earlier for percentage complete, and that's number 2 there. Now the last part is to set the first 9 rows or so to be 100% complete. The last thing you'll want to do is take a look at what happens to the Gantt chart as you've updated that project to become valid to a specific period of time by updating all those percentage completes. Well, there you have it. If you have any questions, post them up in the questions forum and I'll get right to them. Thank you all and good luck.